Hi everyone. Yeah, so this is the first video I'm making, so and I didn't plan beforehand what like in detail what I'm going to talk about, so it might sound just like a casual random uh, conversation, but I just want to express some ideas I have about like like how money creates problems, and maybe some other. I might go off on some tangents along the way, but I'll express some things here. um yeah, so maybe a little bit about myself, if that's needed, like maybe mm, like yeah, so I might I might touch on different topics, but maybe a little bit about myself. So I received my PhD in math about 3 years ago, or three and a half, probably 3.5 years ago, and so yeah, so like yeah, so yeah, I thought that if I just follow the rules and like oh yeah, like before I got like how to say, like I thought if I just get the PhD in math, and then like I was convinced that if I just get the PhD in math, then somehow life will be good after that. Like the usual academic path is to just become a postdoc at a math department somewhere, and then you become an assistant professor eventually, and then gradually there's this academic path for mathematicians. So I thought that maybe the graduate school or completing the degree somehow is like a guarantee, or a kind of guarantee for that this path to continue in that way, or at least I was convinced of that. But in actuality, after I graduated, it didn't work out easily. Like there were many problems, like especially it doesn't work as easy as the advisor, just your PhD advisor just just sends you somewhere to the next math department. You can go, and then you become the postdoc there, and like so this brings us to the problem of postdocs, and what people do after they get their PhD. And from my understanding, the postdocs in the world, like they all, like if you look at the postdoc positions out there, they like most of them have very specific requirements what kind of researcher they are looking for. So if you just, like I did, if you just finished your PhD in a very obscure, strange topic, and it's not related to most of what other people are doing, and if you didn't get very good guidance during your graduate school on how to navigate that academic world, then you become totally lost. After that, it's like you just in my case, it was, I felt like I became ostracized from the math community. So but I mean, what does it actually mean to be a mathematician? Like, I mean, they do math and try to prove new theorems, and somehow like in this world, like being a mathematician is also like tied to being a math professor in a math department, and whether or not you can become a math professor in a math department depends on a lot of things. I think, I don't really know, but looks like it depends on a lot of things. Does the people like you? Do you have professors who want you to work with them? And it's all about did you make friends with the people at the math department you want to enter? Or maybe does the math department have enough money to support more researchers, to support another position at the department? So looks like even with the math research, with I mean being an academic mathematician looks like it's not, there's it's not complete freedom. So you don't get to just research anything you want. Like you sort of have to, like I don't know, but like it's just maybe it's just my guess, but maybe you sort of have to have lots of kind of good social skills with the people at the math departments for them to like you. And for someone with Asperger's like me, like I'm not going to understand what that even means, but it's just, perhaps you need some kind of social skills with people, and then you also have to, you're not free to research whatever you want, because somehow maybe you have to like try to research in those the kind of math that people will like, the rest of the math community will like, that you get to publish in good journals, the so-called SCI journals, and I don't know, that looks like it's a competition. Like even in the academic math world, it's all about who can write more and more papers as fast as they can, who can, and then when they try to, if they try to publish, they want to publish in the good journal. So then the goal is to try to publish in the journal, and then in the so-called good journals, and but then you're not free to do whatever kind of research the researcher wants, because looks like if the goal is to try to publish in very very good journals as fast as they can, to have as many papers in as short amount of time as they can. I mean, there is the pressure to. Well, I wasn't a postdoc for a very long time, but there seems to be a pressure to publish in good journals as fast as they can, so that they can continue their postdoc position or be able to secure the next position, because the math departments, the way they work, they look at your publications or your recommendation letters, and so it's all about social skills. It's all about maybe perhaps your math publications, if they're when you try to publish in a good journal, if that's your goal, you want to publish in a good journal as fast as you can, then you don't have the capacity to like there's a kind of like how to say, there's a kind of like it can happen if you want to publish in the good journal, so you cannot just pursue any kind of radical idea or whatever idea you like, you want to research, because people might just do research, like change, like instead of doing what they really want to research, like for instance I know Donald Hoffman at the University of California at Irvine came up with this theory of conscious agents, and it's a kind of mathematical theory that tries to explain how the physical world is actually emergent from consciousness, that consciousness is more fundamental and the physical world somehow emerges from that. And he uses Markov chains and he defines something called the conscious agent, and so it's a very radical theory. It's a very radical theory, and I think a small group of scientists are supporting the idea that human consciousness is not emergent from the brain. So I didn't go to medical school, but the impression I got from the regular educational system and from my relatives who are medical doctors, I think the impression I got from those mainstream sources is overwhelmingly that they think that a human consciousness is emergent from the physical brain. So, and if you just ask an average doctor, I think they will just like assume or is assume that your consciousness emerges from your brain. So whatever mental or psychological problem you have, like in most cases they are just going to prescribe you medicine, like kind of they think your problem is the problems in your consciousness, because your consciousness comes from your brain. So to fix the problem you are experiencing in your consciousness, they think they just have to fix your brain. I mean, in the most cases, right? The regular medical or regular psychotherapeutic system, they just give you the medicines. But as I think David Icke said in some places that David Icke claims that the regular medical system, the regular doctors, does not have the real understanding of what human beings are. So when you have a problem and you are a human and you go to a medical doctor to try to find help with your problems, especially when if it is a problem that's related to your like a mental problem or psychotherapeutic problem. If they don't have the correct understanding of how the problem arises, then perhaps they won't have the correct solution to your problem. Like they might propose giving you this medication, you have to take this medication, or you have to maybe, like in extreme cases, they might want you to do a surgery in your brain, so it's like we have a habit of going to just the regular medical system and get treatment for our problems, and it looks like it doesn't work. I mean, sometimes, or with the regular hospitals, like we are in this habit that when we have a problem with our body or our mind, we go to the